They glued themselves to the floor of a car factory, but they did not expect the manager to do what he did. In 2022, 9 activists went to the Porsche Pavilion with a couple demands. They wanted the CEO to support the introduction of speed limits on German motorways and declare that the Paris climate 1.5-degree goal was not feasible. To the surprise of the protesters, staff just ignored them and employees kept working as usual. And when it came to closing time, employees shut the lights and heating off, locked the doors, and left for the night. For 2 nights, the protesters slept on the floor. One had to leave after 24 hours because his hand was swelling and was at risk of life-threatening blood clots. One went online to complain about how they were treated, saying staff didn't do anything to help them, even saying, quote, "They refused our request to provide us with a bowl to urinate and defecate in while we are glued." The manager eventually grew tired of them, told them to leave, which they didn't, so they were arrested.
Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. I tell you what. Welcome back to the channel. This is Not Without My TV. I am Chris, and we are watching the world go crazy. So let's just go ahead and get started.
We're excited to fly in 2 different spacecraft. I mean, we're testers. That's what we do. You know, we look at different aircraft, spacecraft, whatever, evaluate it, and that's a pretty unique opportunity. I think, like you know, this was not the very first option. We wanted to take Starliner to the completion and land it back on land at home. But, you know, you have to turn the page and look at the next opportunity.
I sent down my request for a ballot today. As a matter of fact, they should get it to us in a couple of weeks. And absolutely, yes, it's a very important role that we all play as citizens is to be included in those elections. And NASA makes it very easy for us to do that. So we're excited about that opportunity.
Being up here in space, it's just fun. You know, every day you do something that's work, quote unquote.
Oh yeah, she looks like
you can
she's
do it
having a
upside
great time.
down. You can do it sideways. So it adds a little different perspective. We're excited to fly in 2 different spacecraft. I mean, we're testers. That's what we do. You know, we look at different aircraft, spacecraft, whatever.
You know, the more and more I see those 2 people on camera, the more and more I start to doubt what I'm seeing. That just looks, something does not look right about that. They look like they're hanging upside down. I mean, somebody get that woman a scrunchie. What in the hell? Like, why would you just let your hair all flail around like that? Put a rubber band. Like, how annoying can that be while you're trying to work? And then did you see dude on the other side with the big old vein popping out of his forehead? Like he's like, it's like they're hanging upside down. His face is all red. Man, whatever they're doing, they're under some pretty high stress. You could tell they look messed up. Every time you see them, they look worse. And you know they got a 3D printer. 3D print yourself a hair bonnet or something. Cause damn.
What does this mean? What does this mean? Why would they put this for everybody to see? And this is going really fast. So I slowed it down a lot so you could actually see all the words that pop up. Like they flash through there. What could this mean?
I don't want to stare directly at it. I might be getting programmed or something. Man, I remember that street right there. I used to live right behind.
It's hard to catch
that
all
set
the
of
words,
buildings
so I slowed it down so you guys could all actually
on the opposite side of the street
all the
there.
words. It just baffles me that they would put this on something so big and significant where so many people see it. See, that one was really hard, like, to catch. This is a message that they're trying to put out to the world, to like everybody that's out here. I'm gonna make another video with that other part that had the longer sentences to show what that one said. I'm gonna slow it down for you even more, but just that part so we can actually read it. So stay tuned for that. I don't know. You tell me.
Wow, that was pretty crazy. There's a couple of sentences in there that kind of tripped out. That last one I caught was, "You never walk alone." What? Does it have something to do with this? Or the all-seeing eye from Mordor? I used to live right down the street from that what was a construction site when I lived there.
Oh, my apologies. Mandates are about to be reinstated, so I was wearing my mask to get ahead of the curve. I love my mask, especially in an election year, because it's a simple yet effective way to display my allegiance to the regime. Am I concerned that an analysis of top scientific studies was conducted this year and concluded that mask mandates did nothing to stop the spread of COVID-19? Nope. Am I concerned that mandatory masks once led to mandatory vaccines, which led to an epidemic of heart conditions in the otherwise young and healthy? No. Am I concerned that COVID stimulus checks and manufactured supply shortages have created a steep loss in purchasing power, making it next to impossible to afford basic necessities? Not even a little bit. Am I concerned that this state of hyperinflation will eventually lead to the perceived need for a government-backed universal basic income that will enslave us to the state in inconceivable ways? Not until it affects me directly. And why am I not concerned, you ask? I'm not concerned because I decided a long time ago that sticking to a bad course of action is much easier than admitting I was wrong. Oh, my apologies. Mandates are about to be reinstated.
Nah, I miss satire. Back when you could actually express it and people would laugh and understand what you're saying. Now you have one group of people who's afraid to laugh, and the other group of people is a narcissist pointing the fingers, making sure that the other people stay afraid to laugh. What a world, what a world. And that's why we have a show. And that's why this show exists. And if you like this show, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more.
Well, I'm an architect of 20 years, member of the American Institute of Architects, and have been studying steel-framed, fireproof buildings for about that long.
We ask that for clarification because as we get into this, we want people to make sure that you're not just somebody with a wacky idea.
Right.
Okay, you come with some science to you. What is the official reason for the collapse of the World Trade Center towers?
Well, we're told that the planes hit the buildings and there was an explosion and a fire, and about an hour and a half later, in the case of the North Tower, the buildings collapsed due to structural weakening due to the fires. The problem is that we don't have large gradual deformations associated with collapses, and fires in high-rises have never brought down a steel frame high-rise building at all, ever. And what we have, unfortunately, is the evidence in the Twin Towers and the third skyscraper to collapse that day, which most people don't know anything about it. We have the evidence of the 10 key features of controlled demolition. In the case of Building 7, it collapses straight down into its own footprint at free fall speed in the first 100 feet. It's dropping, as you can see, symmetrically, smoothly, at free fall speed in the first 100 feet, 2.5 seconds. This is uncanny. There's 40,000 tons of structural steel designed to resist this collapse.
So what, a 47-story building?
Well, I'm an architect of 20 years, member of the American Institute of Architects, and have been studying steel.
You know, that guy's completely right about the whole third building coming down and people not knowing about it. I had no clue about it until recently that I've started watching these videos. The more you listen to these guys right here, the harder it is to accept everything that went down for what it was and not think, hey, there might have actually been a little bit more to it.
That is my verdict, and I can stand it up. I will be in court, Supreme Court in Costa Rica very shortly, and I'll be using exactly this argument that I will give Benito. That's the first point. So don't take these injectables. Don't take the next lot either. They will also be designed to harm you. All mRNA-based materials are dangerous. Don't take them. That is my verdict, and I can...
Very interesting. If all that was true, then the lead executive in charge of making this product he's not warning you about it. He's telling you straight up not to use it. That, I think that's something that shouldn't be taken lightly. Something that should not be brushed off. Okay, so that looked kind of real. Like, whoa.
How much does Greece owe, Roger?
$367 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Mostly to the other European economies.
Correct. How much does Ireland owe?
$865 billion.
Correct. And who do they owe it to?
Other European economies, mostly.
Correct. How much does Spain and Italy owe?
$1 trillion each.
Correct. Who to?
Mainly France, Britain and Germany.
Correct. And how are Germany, France and Britain going, Roger?
Well, they're struggling a bit, aren't they?
Correct. Why?
Because they've lent all these vast amounts of money to other European economies that can't possibly pay them back.
Correct. So what are they going to do?
They're going to have to bail them out.
Correct. Where are they getting the money to do that, Roger?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
How much does Portugal owe?
Hang on a minute. What was the answer to that earlier question?
Just keep answering the questions, Roger. Where is Portugal going to get the money it owes to Germany if Germany can't get back the money that it lent to Italy?
Just a minute. What was the answer to the previous question? The question was, how can broke economies lend money to other broke economies who haven't got any money because they can't pay back the money the broke economy lent to the other broke economy and shouldn't have lent it to them in the first place because the broke economy can't pay it back?
You're wasting very valuable time, Roger. How much money does Spain owe to Italy?
$41 billion, but where are they going to get it?
Correct. What does Italy owe to Spain?
$27 billion, but they haven't got it. They're broke.
Correct. How can they pay each other if neither of them has any money?
They're going to get a bailout, aren't they?
Correct. And where's the money coming from for the bailout?
That's what I'm asking you.
Correct. Why are people selling the European currency and buying the US dollar?
Because the US economy is so much stronger than the European economy.
Correct. Why is that, Roger?
Because it's owned by China.
Correct.
So it looks like one guy is expecting for there to be an actual answer to these questions, while the other guy asking the questions knows that there is no legitimate or logical, reasonable answer, that it's all nonsense. And I think he's trying to highlight that, but he's trying to lead that guy to that rather than just telling him out loud, because it'll bounce right off of him. That seems to be happening a lot lately. I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there for you guys. That's all I have for you today. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more if you like content like this. And I will see you next time.
That was nice.